Okay, so we're back. I picked up a release this week that it's been out for quite a while, but there hasn't been a lot of reviews of it on YouTube that I can find. So I'm going to go over it. It has quite an interesting history when the film was made back in 1947, and also quite an interesting history on Blu-ray as of late. So what I'm talking about here is, of course, uh, The Lady from Shanghai, been put out by Turner Classic Movies, their Vault collection, which is only available through their website and not in stores or on any other traders like Amazon, etc. So, which makes it a little harder to get. And I think if it was available on Amazon, it would be quite a large seller. It's quite a well-loved film noir. We'll get into that in a moment. The Blu-ray history is interesting because it was released earlier this year, I believe January, and it came out. People were a little underwhelmed. They thought the picture was fine, but could have been better. It was using a kind of a sloppy encode, and it had a low bit rate. It didn't have lossless audio, and also it was released in a DVD-sized case, which is quite annoying to be in people's collections. It just doesn't look nice. So, after quite a few complaints on forums and reviews, they re-released it at the end of May, just quietly, and they even did a program where you can return the old one and get the new one. This one benefits greatly from a larger bit rate and a superior encode, the AVC encode, as opposed to the VC1 encode that was used on the original. Also has the lossless audio and a DVD-sized case, and not to mention it has some extra special features. Firstly, we'll have a look. It's got a nice little slip case. It's got the Criterion style case here. With the picture taking up the full plastic rather than having the clear strip at the top. And then that's the back. Now, the special features that it includes is an introduction by Robert Osborne, a Peter Bogdanovich commentary, which is excellent. The commentary, he wrote an interview book about Orson Welles, and he was able to, for a while he read conversations between himself and Orson Welles about The Lady from Shanghai. Later he talks about his experience with the film as a fan, as he didn't work on the film. He didn't meet Orson Welles until well after this film was made. But yeah, it's a good commentary. Peter Bogdanovich is a good talker. He can tell a good story. And then we have a feature that is new to the set called Comments by Eddie Muller. It's a three-part about the making of The Lady from Shanghai. He is a film noir expert, and that's really a nice feature. And then there's a whole bunch of text and picture options, publicity stills, scene stills, behind-the-scenes photos, movie posters, lobby card set, articles, Orson Welles biography. So there's quite a bit of stuff there that you can read and look at. And then there's a audio podcast from the Noirnet, the noircast.net, where it's about 30 minutes long. It's quite interesting. Where this podcast that goes on, they focus on one film noir film per podcast, and this is the one about The Lady from Shanghai. So excellent special features. Now the new picture is also, even though it is a better encode, a higher bit rate, it's come under a little duress from the fans because it's much darker than the one released in January. I think it looks great. I never saw the one that was released in January because after the so-so reviews I decided to hold out on getting it. Also, it wasn't the easiest to get from the TCM store. But looking at the comparison stills on several sites, I can tell you this is darker, but I think it is a little more crisp, and I'm certainly sure with the bitrate and encode that I got, that it looks better in motion. And from some still close-ups, any compression artifacts that were on the January release are no longer there. This looks smooth and pretty flawless print throughout. As I say, it looks great in motion. It may be dark, but the darkness sort of suits Film Noir Star. It has very rich blacks, so who's to say whether the other one was too bright compared to this one? But I think this would be definitively the the best print, not just from a technical level, but from a enjoyment watching level. It has the lossless audio where the other one did not. The true HD Dolby stereo. Sounds fine to me. And it's a great film, great presentation. Now the film itself was made by Orson Welles and stars Orson Welles. He needed money for a stage play he was doing, Around the World in 80 Days, so he needed the $50,000 desperately, so he agreed to make this film. He just chose at random the story and got a deal and got $50,000 wired to him so he could do his play that he wanted to do. He ended up directing and starring in this film alongside his wife. The only time he worked on screen with his wife, Rita Hayworth, and he shot a lot of footage, and his original cut was a very long film. I believe 155 minutes is what I've read. This has been shortened down to 88 minutes against his will. Apparently the footage has been completely lost and will not be refound. And there's a famous finale scene called the Hall of Mirrors scene at the end, which apparently was much longer and more elaborate in the original cut, but it's still quite special in this cut. There's no reason to hold out hope for a release of a longer cut, because that is not going to happen, as by all accounts the extra footage was destroyed. And when it came out, it was a bit of a bomb, but over time critics have come around to this film, and it is considered one of the peaks of the genre. Now, the TCM shop, their international shipping is criminal, absolutely criminal. I didn't finish my order when I saw how much the shipping was going to be. It was something like, the Blu-ray itself is not cheap. It's $24 or $25, and then the shipping they wanted to charge to here from America was $35, which is just insanity, and just them making money off the shipping, because it doesn't cost that much to ship anywhere. So I did get it shipped to a friend in America and get him to ship it on to me. I also managed to catch TCM when they were running a 25% off sale, so I got this very cheap. But I would suggest, if you do not live inside the US or Canada, that you need to get somebody from that region to send it to you, because the shipping is just too much. Now, at least one website has listed this as region free. I can assure you it is not region free, it is region A lock, so you will need a region free player if you're outside region A zone, which of course I do, and everyone should. So it's a region A locked player will not play when you set to region B, but plays fine region A. Another interesting thing is that it's probably the first Blu-ray I've seen where a pop-up menu will not pop up during the film. You have to go right back to the original menu, like the old DVD style. But that's fine. When I was first looking at the film, I wanted to quickly have a look at the special features, and I pushed pop-up menu and it does not work. So have a little look at the inside. You have the Blu-ray. It also comes with a DVD copy, which I haven't bothered looking at. They are stacked, but there is a nice bit of room between the two, so there's no chance of damage. And there's a picture of Orson and Rita and behind there. Okay, so there we have it. Lady from Shanghai. It's not the easiest one to come by. You're going to have to order it from the TCM online store. Lady from Shanghai, absolute classic.